I really want to stay, but since you gave me the reason to, I'm walking out.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my brand new channel, The Fashion Fiasco Show. I'm your girl, Nikki Fiasco, and here we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and sometimes frightening side of the beauty, cosmetic, and fashion industry. We also take an organic look at love, relationships, career topics, and anything that may affect you. So, tonight's topic is, I love you, but I'm leaving you. One more time, I'm loving you, but I'm leaving you. And this topic was actually inspired by Miss Emily B of VH1 Hip Hop Wives. And in watching the show, I realized that she goes through what 80% of us as women go through. We are in a relationship with someone who cannot reciprocate our love, someone who is not monogamous to us, someone who cheats on us, someone who claims to love us in private, but shows us no public affection and does not even acknowledge us. So ladies, once we figure out, that this is not a good situation for us and we need to leave, no matter how long you've been in a relationship, 1 year, 3 years, 7 years, 10 years, 20 years, once you are hit on the forehead with a stone, a brick, the house comes tumbling down, once this happens to you, I'm going to give you 5 tips, and I call them the 5 R's of leaving. Please understand that these are some tips that I've come up with that pretty much helped me, that have helped my girlfriends, and I am not telling you anything that I have not gone through myself. I was actually married before, and I was actually engaged for about 6 years to someone, and it just didn't work. And instead of me being smart and leaving, I did not, until 2 or 3, 4, 5 years later down the line. I am learning. I am becoming very wise when it comes to relationships. But if you don't have a father figure or someone who is guiding you along the path of what I call men, you just don't know. So you tend to step in these minefields and your relationship blows up in your face and you don't know what to do. So ladies, I'm just here to help you out. Take it or leave it, but I hope you take it and kind of use and take what's good for you and throw away what isn't. So let's talk about the 5 R's of leaving. So once you feel that, it's time for you to get out, the first R I want to talk about is realization. You understand what your relationship is, not what it can be, but what it is at the current time. And you make peace with that. You realize they're not going to be monogamous. You realize they're not good for you. Maybe their finances are jacked up. Maybe they don't want to give you the time and effort to make your relationship good. Maybe you're a private girlfriend. Maybe you're not being publicly acknowledged. Maybe you're a mistress. Maybe you're a wife who's being cheated on. Maybe you're the other woman. All of this stuff is no good. So once you figure out that these things are going on, the first R, come to the realization of what your situation is right now, okay? The second thing I want to tell you is I want you to revamp. So my second R is revamp. Revamp. Figure out what your situation is and assess it for what it's worth. Ladies, if you know that you are not in a good situation, decide what you can do to change that situation. Revamp. Come to grips with your feelings, your emotions, just all things that have gone on with that relationship and make peace with it. Sometimes, ladies, we beat ourselves up about a relationship because I have learned that society plays a big role in what happens to us as women. And when I say what happens to us, I simply mean the attitude that we internalize or the attitude that is projected on us. As women, it is not acceptable for us to, hop around. It is not acceptable for us to sleep with a lot of men. It is not acceptable for us to find ourselves first before we get into a relationship. Think about it. You never have time to find yourself because at a very young age, you're given a baby doll and you're told that you have to love someone else. You're not allowed to yell, scream, be crazy. That is reserved for the boys. Most of the time, as a woman, you're taught to be like reserved and poised and, hide your emotion and take care of everyone else, and then you come last. So, you know what? Revamp. Think about the attitudes and the behaviors that have gotten you where you are, good or bad. Figure out what you have done in the relationship to keep the relationship going in the direction it has come. It takes 2 to tango, and love is not 50-50. I don't care what no one says. There is a beloved and there is a lover. When I say a lover, there is someone who gives and gives and gives, and the beloved is someone who takes and takes and takes or is showered with affection. Figure out which one you were. Did you enable that behavior? What have you done? Just assess what happened. So in revamping, I want you to assess how you got there, the behaviors and thought patterns that allowed you to stay in the situation for so long. The next one, number 3, is I want you to remove. And not only remove yourself, but remove your belongings. Once you have figured out that you must leave, remove yourself totally. Remove your heart. Remove your mind. And it may take a minute. You know, this process is not overnight. When you figure out that you're breaking up with someone, it is not done in 5 seconds, in a day, in a week. Usually it takes a month or 2 to gather yourself emotionally. So remove your emotions. Remove your heart. Remove the blame. Remove all the negative behavior that may have came with that situation. I found myself in my last relationship just slowly withdrawing. I was removing myself. Not that I didn't love the person. I still love the person. I love that person with all my heart, all my mind. But I realized that I had to start removing myself. So things that used to bother me didn't. The arguments, they just weren't arguments anymore. I started figuring out what I needed to do to make myself whole. I started working on me. So remove yourself from that situation. Remove your body, your thoughts, your feeling, and your heart. It's a process. The next one, roll out. Get your shit and get the fuck on. Really, really easy. And it probably sounds really rude for me to say it that way, but roll out. Leave. Ladies, when I was going through this, I left completely. I took my belongings. I took my kids. I rolled out. I just left completely. I didn't do it in a sneaky manner. I said, look, this is not working for me. You know, I've asked you for A, B, C, D, and E, and you won't give me any of what I'm asking you for. You don't want to work on a relationship with me. You want to pretty much have your cake and eat it too. And sometimes in a relationship, there is usually a person who is much more selfish. But if you talk to that person that truly love you, you guys can kind of work it out. I got none of that. So you know what? Roll out. Remove your belongings, yourself, your clothes, your shoes. Don't leave anything that you have to go back for. And my last tip is rebuild. Rebuild your life. Figure out a way to create the life that you want. Assess your talents, you know. Go back to school. Get an education. Pursue your dreams. Do new things. Have adventures. Explore, you know, have friends. Rebuild your life. So out of the 5 R's that I have given you, for leaving when you know that you must, first, realize what your situation is, realization. Revamp. Figure out, you know, what's going on and how you have attributed to that behavior and what you can do to move on. 3, remove yourself from that situation. Do not hold yourself hostage anymore to what is not good for you. 4, roll out. Leave that situation physically, mentally. Take your heart, take your mind, take your soul. Just remove yourself, your whole being from that situation. And number 5, of course, is rebuild. Explore. Find ways to build the life that you want. Like, I'm crazy. Look at me. I have a mohawk, the long, big earrings. I am crazy. I have all kinds of friends. I go out to dances. I've been on a couple of dates. I go clubbing. I go places by myself. I go to museums. Just figure out what you need to rebuild yourself in your life. And this is Nikki Fiasco from the Fashion Fiasco Show. And I just do these little tidbits and nuggets. You can catch me live 11 p.m. where I do the Fashion Fiasco News in 30. And you can also catch me just spinning randomly on this channel. And you can actually get in touch with me on my Facebook. I'm at facebook.com/Nikki, N-I-C-K-I, Fiasco, F-I-A-S-C-O. You guys have a good day, good night, good evening. Love you guys.